Hello and welcome to this workshop on dissociation and gaining self-awareness. My name is Joanna and I'm a coaching psychologist. My passion is for helping people to gain skills of awareness, self-awareness, self-understanding, an expansion of the consciousness so that they can live their life to the fullest and experience everything that life has to offer. So I'm not really dealing with clinical psychology, or I don't offer therapy. So if you do think that you have some severe symptoms of dissociation or symptoms that, impair your functioning, please seek help of professional mental health services in your area. And also, just as a quick reminder, since you participate in this workshop, you are entitled for 20% discount on personal coaching with me. So if you do wish to claim this discount, please get in touch. So the idea for this course has been born with my interest in awareness and consciousness. I believe that we have certain capacities to enhance our awareness, to enhance our consciousness, where we can break free from the patterns that enslave us to some extent, because we all have a choice on how to act in each and every moment. But these patterns that basically contribute to how our brain is wired very often prevents us from expanding our behaviors, expanding our personality. And it's not like someone is programming us from the outside, but it has to do more with our past experiences and conditioning. We know that in psychology, there's something called conditioning and reinforcement. So when we're getting rewarded for certain behaviors, we're going to keep doing more of these behaviors, whereas if we get punished for something, we're going to stop doing that. So dissociation is a very unique state of mind, and I don't think that it is limited just to clinical population or just to people who have been professionally diagnosed with dissociation, because it doesn't just reflect a disordered mind, but also our desire to defend ourselves against unpleasant or overwhelming experiences. So we can think of a dissociation as being on a spectrum. On the one end, we have a dissociation, which could be described as a defense mechanism against unpleasant feelings, unpleasant experiences, something that is difficult to cope with. So we use this mechanism to change our awareness, change the state of our awareness, so that we don't have to deal with this unpleasant thing that is so overwhelming to us. But of course, since it's a spectrum, on the other end, we have this very challenging clinical cases of dissociation, which completely rob a person of their core personality and split their mind into many different parts, many different independent pieces that are not very coherently connected with each other. So on this severe end of spectrum, we can deal with things like depersonalization, or the realization where we don't feel like a real human being, or we don't feel that anything is real around us. So in such cases, the split between these different parts, the split between, our feelings and thoughts and behaviors is so severe that it requires professional mental health services in order to deal with this complex state of the psyche. Since dissociation is quite common defense mechanism where we put a distance between our experience, our feelings and thoughts, it is quite common to observe various difficulties that arise in our experience and in the experience of other people resulting from this other state of awareness. For example, we might avoid certain situations, or we might feel like we are conflicted inside, or perhaps we might feel like the spectrum of our feelings and emotions is quite limited. So again, the severity of the symptoms will depend on how much different parts of our personality are dissociated. So the more these parts are dissociated, the more severe the symptoms will be. Regardless of where the individual is on the spectrum, what is common to all states or all intensity of dissociation is that we become detached or completely separated from the present moment experience. So we create such a detachment, such distance, that we are not really sure what's going on around us. We can't fully participate in the present moment. We can't fully participate in life if we dissociate in certain moments. So as a result of that, we might experience symptoms such as emotional numbness, difficulty with attention, difficulty with having like life has any purpose of meaning, because we distance ourselves from this present moment experience on a regular basis as a result of that dissociation. And what is also common to all cases, regardless of the severity, is that we will experience at least two different mental states, at least two different conflicted personality or simply mental states that are not very connected. They might be in conflict, they might be unaware of each other. So in one situation we act like this, and in another situation we act completely differently. So for example, we might have a personality part that comes out in specific situations and is very different or in a direct opposition to a different part of personality that comes out in different situations. Of course, there are many different possibilities of how this dissociation can affect our personality and mental states, but this is just a simple example. In this workshop, I aim to solve three major problems resulting from dissociation. First of all, of course, the disconnection or separation between our thoughts, feelings, present moment experience. So basically, I will try to provide you with skills and habits that you can build that will allow you to start forming connections between these different parts of you so that you can experience yourself wholly and authentically in each and every present moment. The second problem resulting from dissociation is that of not really having direction or meaning or purpose in life, so that we don't know where we're going. So this is kind of caused by the first problem that I've mentioned, where we are disconnected from the present moment, where our awareness is scattered. Obviously, it's going to be difficult to know what we want, what we need, because our attention wanders and we experience all these different conflicted mental states. So it's quite difficult to develop this coherent narrative of, I know where I'm going, I know what my goal is, I know what my purpose is, I know what I want from life. So again, I'm going to support you in solving this problem as well by providing you with techniques that will allow you to bring in your whole self into the present moment experience. And lastly, the third problem that I aim to address, which is a consequence of regular dissociation, is that we might suffer from poor self-esteem, lack of assertiveness, or lack of confidence. So again, this is the result of two other problems where we might not feel comfortable with certain feelings. We might not feel comfortable with assertiveness because it triggers certain emotions or feelings within us, and we are not comfortable with them. So again, I'm going to try to provide you with tips on how to build skills of expressing yourself authentically in each and every moment. The structure of the workshop is quite straightforward. It contains 4 different modules, 4 short videos on the theory behind each problem and the solution that I've just described. So this relates to developing our self-awareness and understanding, staying present in the present moment experience so that we can use the awareness to understand ourselves, understand our patterns, so that in the future we can be free from them. And by making a different choice, by choosing to behave differently, I will also provide you with tools that can help you to understand your feelings and emotions more so that you can use them to your advantage. Because feelings and emotions are just a form of information. They're not your enemy. They're not there to ruin your life, but they're there to support you as long as you are willing to listen to them and willing to keep them aside without jumping in completely into this realm of feelings and emotions. And lastly, I hope to explore the possibility of how we can unite different parts of our personality, how we can again break these patterns that aim to keep different parts of ourselves separated, so that we can develop harmony between our feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and also between different parts of our personality. So for example, if we use the theory of Carl Jung, how can we develop a harmony between our ego, our conscious personality and our shadow and ourself as well. So this is something to consider as well. And of course, since I am not qualified to do a therapy, I cannot guarantee that this is going to work or that this is going to cure your dissociation. I can guarantee, however, that the methods and the theories described in this workshop are based on several different psychological models and also coaching practice, because since I'm a coaching psychologist, my goal is to provide you with tools for self-development and improvement. Whereas your role is, to use these tools and embark on this journey of enhancing your awareness and understanding of your experience. Each module also contains a workbook or simply a worksheet with different exercises depending on what we are working on. So that, again, I hope that you use these exercises because, it's very easy to get inside our heads. It's very easy to try to understand everything, understand the theory, but theory is not enough. The real recovery, the real progress is completely dependent on what you do with these tools, what you do with this theory. So the more action you take, the more you practice, the bigger your chances for moving forward in life and enhancing your awareness. If you have any concerns or questions, don't hesitate to drop me a message via Mind Mastery website. I'm going to provide the link and my email address just underneath the video. I hope that you find this workshop enjoyable. I hope you find it rewarding and helpful in your journey in enhancing your awareness and expanding your personality. See you in the next video.